and welcome to day 3 of our reset challenge. I am just enjoying this so much. I've been drinking more water, eating healthier food, and Alyssa is now going to tackle a subject that I'm sure is a little bit tricky for some of you, and that is sleep. For me, my thing is like, I want too much sleep, but maybe it's because I have some bad sleep habits that are getting in the way of me getting to sleep on time. So maybe you're going to be setting me straight on this one, Alyssa. Why don't you share with us how we can reset ourselves with that?
Yes, sleep. Oh, sweet sleep. I love my sleep too. And who doesn't love sleep, really, except for our angsty toddlers that don't want to go for their naps. They'll regret that later. But I think we all love sleep. And you probably know that it's important for you. And if you've ever had disrupted sleep or a newborn child, then you know how you don't quite feel your best when you're sleep deprived. So there's a reason for that. Sleep really supports our hormone health, our immune health, and our brain health. So it's important for so many things, and for energy. It's kind of obvious that we need more sleep to have enough energy. And yet it can be so tricky when we want that alone time after kids have gone to bed, or we feel like that's our only quiet time. And yet we pay the price the next day when we are tired and cranky and not feeling our best. So I'm going to talk about why sleep is important and give you guys some tips so that you can really learn more about your sleep and hopefully get a bit more of it. So as we sleep, we go through sleep cycles. We go through a series of 90-minute sleep cycles. And so the first of the two is what's called quiet sleep. So there's 4 stages in this, and our body is just slowly winding down bit by bit. And so it will reduce our body temperature. It'll slow down the heart rate. It just really gets you into that rest mode and takes care of physiological repair. So that's where your immune system is working. That's where you're repairing muscles. It's all these things. So it's very important to get through your sleep cycles. The second part is REM. So you've probably heard of this one, rapid eye movement. So this part of sleep is where we dream. It's also where we consolidate our memory. So we're moving what we've experienced from the day into our long-term memory. So this is very, very important. If we get interrupted in our sleep, then we're going to interrupt this process as well. And so that can really affect our memory and how we feel when we're trying to recall things. So the other thing that I wanted to really focus on is what happens in our brain. Our brain is so active when we sleep. So you might have heard of the lymphatic system. So that runs throughout our body. We have lymph nodes and lymph connections throughout our body, and that helps support our immune system. But our brain has what's called the glymphatic system. So there's these little glial cells in the brain, and they're often called janitor cells, although that's a very simplistic way to look at them. But essentially what they do is they go through the brain and they clean up debris and byproducts and things that our brain has produced from working all day. And so what they do is they clean that up and they put it in the cerebral spinal fluid and it gets flushed out. So it's like the garbage truck's coming through, picking everything up, taking it out. So if we have disrupted sleep, we're interrupting this process. So then you end up with this debris staying in the brain and causing problems. So sleep is a huge risk factor for developing Alzheimer's disease. So if you have disrupted sleep continually, chronically for years, it's really impacting your brain function negatively. So that's why, one of the reasons why sleep is just so essential. Another reason is our body produces growth hormone. This usually comes in around 11 p.m. So make sure you're in bed by then for sure. This is an anti-aging hormone. So you really want this. This is free anti-aging. All you have to do is sleep. All you have to do is sleep. Get to bed before 11-ish, and you'll get this anti-aging hormone. So it can really speed up healing after an injury. It can help you rebuild your muscle mass. It helps with your metabolism and burning fat. It helps your quality and appearance of your skin. So this is a hormone you want to be getting. If you're not going to sleep, you're not getting it. So that's just another reason to get in bed even earlier if you can, but at least before 11 p.m. It really is beauty sleep, right? So what can we do to help with sleep? It really helps to just take a few things into consideration. So If you're having a lot of caffeine, so that can come from chocolate, coffee, black tea, you want to make sure you're not having sources of caffeine after noon. So after 12 o'clock in the day is usually the cutoff. And that can just really disrupt your sleep, as can alcohol and nicotine. So those are 3 things you want to avoid, at least for the afternoon for sure. And then you want to try and have some exercise during the day. So having some physical exertion makes your body tired so that it's easier to fall asleep. And if you're one of those people who you're busy all day and then you lie down and you're exhausted, but your mind is like, bing, I'm going to go over every problem that exists in the world and try and sort through it tonight, then something that might help you is to have a journal and just do like a mind dump. Just write it all out. All the things that you're worried about, things that you're thinking about, write it all down. That tells the brain, I've got it. I recorded it. It's on a shelf. Now we can go to sleep. So that can help too. And having a wind down routine and practicing sleep hygiene. So you probably already brush your teeth, wash your face, whatever you do in the bathroom to get ready for bed. And then it helps to just have another couple things that you do before you lie down. So for me, that looks like doing a few stretches. I then read a little bit, and then I'll pray, turn off the light. And most of the time, I'm off to dreamland pretty quick. So when you have that routine, what it does is your brain loves to look for patterns. So when you establish that pattern, your brain says, oh, I know what happens at the end of this pattern. You're going to lay down and we're going to go to sleep. So that just really helps you prepare and just create that path of less resistance to getting to sleep. So sleep hygiene is what I'm going to challenge you with. I'm going to give you a list of different things, and I'll talk about a few things here, but I want you to pick something on that hygiene list that you can work on to improve your sleep. So some of the things are making sure you have a really dark room, like no lights, not even little lights. If you have electronics in your room, tape over those tiny little green or red lights. Make sure you don't have light coming in your room, so blackout curtains. I use an eye mask. I really like this one. You can just get it on Amazon, but it's kind of raised here. It almost looks like a little bra. And so this one, it doesn't put any pressure on my eyeballs, which is what I like. And so I sleep with an eye mask. I quite like that. Also, try and get off electronics at least an hour before bed. This one is really hard for a lot of people, but I can tell you your mental health and your sleep health will improve if you're off electronics, especially if you're on social media or something and you're seeing negative articles or comments. That can really affect your overall energy and your ability to fall asleep, right? It can create that stress response, and you don't want that right before bed. Same with scary movies. Like, I can't remember how many times I've watched, not even scary, just suspenseful. I'm very sensitive to movies. So if I watch a suspenseful movie before bed, it's done. I'm not going to sleep for a few hours because I've got that stress response and I just can't relax fast enough. So try and avoid stuff that is super stimulating or stressful. That'll just really help you protect your energy as you're winding down. Turn down the lights as you're getting ready for bed. That's a big signal. If you can think of what it was like before electricity, the sun naturally went down. So our bodies naturally knew it was time to go to sleep. Now we can have light anytime we want. So it's important to really turn down the lights, kind of set that tone, set aside electronics, read an actual paper book. That can help too. If you have to be on electronics, then these blue light blocking glasses can help a bit. The science is so-so, but I find that it helps me. So if you feel like this might help you, if you have to be on electronics before bed, then wear these. It blocks the blue light. So what blue light does is when it comes into our eyes, it wakes it up. It tells your body, we don't want to produce melatonin now. So melatonin is that hormone that helps us fall asleep. So we want to produce melatonin at night and not cortisol. So cortisol, you might have heard of it as a stress hormone, but it's actually a natural hormone that we really need in the body. When we wake up, that kind of get up and go feeling is cortisol. We're supposed to have a cortisol spike in the morning when we get up. And then it's supposed to go down and our melatonin is supposed to go up. So it's a rhythm that comes with the circadian rhythm. So that's just the 24-hour clock that our body is on. Every cell in our body references that clock. So if we start letting that blue light in the evening, it's telling our body that it's time to be awake. It's not nighttime, because that blue light comes with the sunrise. So you don't want to have that light coming in. So this can help a bit. Ideally, try and be off an hour before bed. And then I like to use just a little bit of lavender oil in a diffuser at night. I just put a couple drops in. I also just give a little smell. It's very relaxing. So I like having essential oils. That's an option if you like that. And there's a few other things you can do, but I'll link a PDF for you on that. And then I just challenge you to pick something that looks doable on that sleep hygiene list. You don't have to do everything all at once. Sustainable change comes when we do things a little bit at a time. If we do too much at once, then it can feel way too overwhelming, and I don't want you quitting. So pick one thing and then maybe post it in the Facebook group and let us know kind of what you picked to help you wind down to sleep well.
I like it. A happy sleeping tonight, everybody, is what I want to wish you. Oh my goodness. I like the eye mask idea. I feel like it's just so calming. And then it also, if there's any little lights shining or something, it'll just block that all out. I personally love essential oils. I also find them either very grounding or energizing, depending on the time of day. So that's also a great way to weave things in. The funny thing is, as you were talking, I said, oh, Alyssa's a nutritionist, and here she is talking about our sleep. But I think that's really important for people to know, because our nutrition can come in so many different forms, and we don't even think about addressing these other things. We just think, oh, Alyssa's going to give me a shopping list and a recipe and a meal plan, and I'm going to be all better. But it's really some lifestyle changes that we need to consider as we look at resetting our energy for the fall. Because I mean, we're getting into busy season here. School's kicked in, like Christmas is around the corner, and we all know that we're getting to sports, and jobs are ramping up, and who else knows what else is going on in our crazy world at any given moment. But we need our sleep to be able to cope with the stresses and the storms and the good things too, because we want to have energy to be present with our kids. We want to have energy to put them to bed and energy to wake them up in the morning. And heaven knows my kids, they don't stop. So I need to be able to catch up with them. And I'm looking forward to maybe cutting down on the electronics a bit, because that's going to be my challenge. I like to watch TV or be on my phone. And I think I might try to swap it out for a book a few more times a week, just to be a bit healthier. Is that what you like to do too? Is like read a book?
Yeah, usually, or just kind of putter around and organize things around the house. But yeah, it's all part of being a holistic nutritionist, right? Considering all the things that can impact our bodies. So don't forget that metabolism is really affected by our sleep. So our ability to process blood sugar is really impacted when we're short on sleep. So you could be eating super healthy and not seeing any changes because your sleep is out of whack. So keep that in mind. You can see improvements just by improving your sleep. That's how powerful it is.
So good. Okay. So keeping this all in mind, ladies, tomorrow, Alyssa is going to share a little bit more. If you want to learn even more about resetting your energy and living a healthier life overall, she's got a course that she's created, and you're going to tell us a bit about that tomorrow. And then we're also going to have an amazing workshop together on Friday night. So instead of going out on a date or going out and eating an unhealthy dinner and dessert, we want you to join us on Friday night, grab a nice herbal tea, and we're going to learn some more things with Alyssa. So goodbye for today, and we'll see you tomorrow.